safely, yes. Right, yeah. That's my final answer. Cooking safely. I'm terrible.
I am a straight donation station in Jupiter.
If you're low on cash, call Sawhead.
Do it. Give us a moment at peak. Give us a moment. Right in the middle. What a
Go, squeeze.
Can we just please stop saying this a moment ago?
A Keegan comeback, not to be believed.
Mentally, I'm like 15. Yeah.
Subtle signs that you're playing with a stick.
A bag? You want me to be intimidated by a fucking bag? Just sipping a little tea. No reason at all. Look, I would never say this because it's arrogant. A lot of people are saying Dan was right.
Many people are saying.
Listen, I would never make such a declaration, but a lot of people were saying that Dan was right. We're going to get into that. Ben Boscovich is here. Big news in the golf world, man. It just doesn't stop these days. It's been a crazy couple weeks between.
What a time to be us.
What a time to be us. A crazy couple weeks between Mr. Brooks Koepka, going back to last Christmas break when he said that he was not playing LIV. Then he reinstates. Then he's back pretty much right away. Then we had Blades Brown, which was a great story last week. We had Patrick Reed winning in the Hero Dubai Desert Classic, and then Patrick Reed making some flirty comments. I think
they were flirty.
They were flirty. They were like, I'm not saying that like I like her, but like, if she, texted me first once in a while, like I'd maybe be interested.
I actually called my dad, Patrick Reed's #1 fan today.
Yeah.
And he goes, I knew it, that smile on his face in Dan's interview.
Yeah, I mean, we had him on the show on Monday, and it was pretty obvious to me that that's what he wanted to do. Yeah. I'd heard early in the week that he didn't go to the LIV Media Day, which I thought was very telling. So I thought it was also kind of strange when the Four Aces were like just pumping the crap out of his win. They've deleted a lot of those tweets since.
Really?
Yeah. So Patrick Reed is coming back to the PGA Tour. We're going to talk about that on today's show. We're also going to talk about Brooks Koepka's first press conference back. We're going to have my guy Luke Kerr-Dineen on, go into deep dives into some golf swings. And I think we'll have time for a Neal Shipley interview. I think. We'll have to see how the show goes. So let's talk about the Patrick Reed story. So Patrick Reed announces that he will not play LIV in 2026 with an aim to returning to the PGA Tour. Now, he is not eligible for the returning member program that got Brooks back in right away, so it's not like he can play, in Phoenix next week. He's going to have to sit out the PGA Tour until August 26, 2025, which is 1 year after he played in his last unauthorized event. They won't say a LIV event, they say unauthorized event because the PGA Tour won't say LIV, and LIV won't say the PGA Tour, which is hilarious. At that point, he can rejoin the tour as a past champion, and he is eligible to get sponsor invites, so I imagine he will get sponsor invites into the fall. But he's going to play the DP World Tour this year, and because of this partnership between the DP World Tour and the PGA Tour for the last couple of years, the top 10 finishers on the DP World Tour list who don't already have their PGA Tour cards. So if, Rory McIlroy is #1, he doesn't count toward the top 10. Those guys get PGA Tour cards, and that's a better category than a past champion. So he'll get into more events. Reed is going to play the whole year on the DP World Tour. He's one of the best players in the world. He won one of their Rolex Series events. The odds of him finishing in the top 10 on that list are pretty freaking high. Mm-hmm. So it seems to me like Patrick Reed is going to take sponsor invites into the fall, and then starting in January, he's going to play a full season on the PGA Tour under the DP World Tour top 10. And then here was the statement from the PGA Tour. The key part is the end. Similar to anyone reinstated under the returning member program, any former PGA Tour member returning to the PGA Tour would be ineligible for participation in the player equity program through 2030. So like Brooks, he's not going to get a piece of the pie. Mm-hmm. And that makes sense because that was something that was enacted as a response to LIV to reward the players who stayed loyal to the tour. Exactly. To reward the Justin Thomases and the Jordan Spieths and the Scotty Schefflers and the Rory McIlroys. So I get it that they should not participate in that. There was no charitable component here, no $5 million to charity. These are the roll-up rules. Anything goes. And look, you might like Patrick Reed, you might not like Patrick Reed, but I bet you have strong feelings about Patrick Reed. And that is exactly why he's such a good addition to the PGA Tour again. He's box office. When Patrick Reed is on a leaderboard, you feel something, you notice it, and Still one of the very best players in the world, in his prime, American. I think it's a significant blow to LIV, obviously in the context of Brooks, which we're going to talk about more recently. But yeah, not a great scene over the LIV department. I'll just say that. And then also included in the letter to membership were updates on a couple other guys, Kevin Na, Hudson Swafford, and Pat Perez. So Hudson Swafford and Pat Perez are eligible to rejoin in January 1st, 2027. So Perez can start playing on the Champions Tour, which he has stated repeatedly that he wants to do. Hudson Swafford wants to get back onto the PGA Tour. Don't know the state of his game. I heard he was doing it's picking up some other jobs because he was just sitting out this suspension. Kevin Na is a little bit of a different situation. From what I gather, I think he was part of that lawsuit against the PGA Tour, which is not going to go over well. And also, he was a captain, which I know Brooks was a captain, so I don't know why it would make a difference. But I think the fact that he was a captain, maybe it's like, again, I'm just guessing here. Maybe it's like he's recruiting players, which is more of a offense than just going yourself.
Is he one of the guys that played in an event before he actually resigned from the PGA Tour?
I'm not entirely sure.
That could have been it too. And I think maybe, I don't speak, but
Yeah.
I think Swafford might have been involved in that lawsuit too. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. It's hard to say. They left it so vague.
Yeah, they left it so vague and they seem to make their own rules. But let's bring in our I'm calling in the LIV correspondent, Alvin Shipnuck, expert on all things LIV. I'm at the point in my life, Alan, where I'm starting to think about kids. And, Bill Simmons famously said that the first kid is the ACL tear and the second kid is the Achilles. Is it fair to say that in this context, Brooks was the ACL and Reed is the Achilles?
I think we're overrating Patrick Reed a little bit and his place in the firmament. Brooks is a Hall of Famer. He has a certain gravitas. I like what you said about Reed. He inspires feelings, but most of them are negative. I mean, he's not a beloved figure in the game. That's putting it mildly.
Villains are, that was one of the things that LIV did so well was they targeted personalities. I remember that first player impact program. They took 5 of the top 10, and that program was designed to highlight the guys who generate the most conversation. I don't think Reed was one of them, but it was like Phil, Dustin, Brooks, Bubba,
sure.
Some of these richer characters. And I like the new stars. I love Ludwig Oberg. I love Ben Griffin. They're not villains. He at least stands out.
I agree with that, but it's telling that he wasn't one of the top 10. He moves the needle for us as a content machine. But the other thing is Brooks was a dominant force on LIV. He won a bunch of individual tournaments, and Reed has been much quieter. This win in Dubai was actually really significant to reestablish him as a player on the world stage because he's been very quiet on LIV for all these years, and he's been playing terribly in the majors. Brooks won a major when he was already a member of LIV Golf. So I think you might have it backwards. I still think Brooks is bigger, more impactful, more important. Reed is noteworthy, but I don't think he's the needle mover like Brooks.
But you can't look at them, independent of each other. It's a series of events now, right? It's 2 guys. I mean, and if you look at I posted a list of the guys that LIV has added this year and a list of the guys that LIV has lost this year. And the list of the guys they've added is a lot longer, but a lot of those guys none of those guys are needle movers. I mean, the biggest name you could say is, Thomas Dietrich or a kid who was an amateur at Ole Miss a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And surely this is not how they saw this offseason going.
I agree with all that. I mean, Reed is definitely impactful, especially to me. They just created willy-nilly this avenue back for Brooks and for Bryson and for Rahm, and that made all the sense in the world. Reed becomes an important precedent for everybody else. Mm-hmm. Now everybody on LIV Golf has an avenue back. They can follow the Reed rule, we'll call it, and so that is significant. It's he's not special like those other 3 guys, but he's important, and it does give a pathway back for maybe another dozen players who are starting to worry about the future of LIV and what it all means. And so yeah, I don't want to downplay the importance. It really is significant, but I think it's for more of a structural reason than for Patrick Reed himself.
All right, so let's put up the statement that LIV made in response to this. We were not able to come to terms with Patrick on a potential contract extension. We're grateful. LIV has always been an advocate for player movement and recognizes that when golf settles into a new normal, players will not only have the right, but the opportunity to play golf when and where they want. Alan, what do you think the mood is like? What is the spin like? How is LIV gonna absorb this?
This is like a wake for LIV Golf. I know that you had a strong take about LIV Golf being dead. They've gathered to look over the body and drink their tea and martinis. It's because Bryson is obviously the biggest domino, and then Rahm, and they're looking around, and two of the best players have now run for the exits, and if you're Bryson, you're going to make more money than you can ever spend either way. Do you want to be playing against, the Thomas Detries of the world, or do you want to be playing against the Hall of Fame talent at tournaments that really attract a big audience? I think Brooks and Patrick Reed leaving makes it much easier and almost mandatory for Bryson and John Rahm to leave as well. Because imagine, Rahm's like, okay, I'll play 2 more years and then I'll walk away when my contract is up. But he's like the last guy to turn the lights out. You don't want to be that guy.
I was just going to say, you don't want to be on the last plane out of Saigon. Like it's like one of those situations where one kid, maybe like this one kid who's kind of nerdy, but he has like a lot of money and he's throwing this big party and he's got like the nicer alcohol and all that stuff. But then there's another party down the road that like this hot chick is throwing, and people kind of go to that party, the first one, with the better alcohol, and they drink the alcohol, but then, there's hot chicks at the other party. And so then everyone starts to go to the other party, and then you don't want to be the last loser at the party with the good alcohol, but no girls.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Dan. It's, this is just another inflection point. And of course, there's this macro story about how the Saudi economy is struggling. And, this has been an axiom in geopolitics forever, that oil has to be around $100 a barrel for Saudi Arabia to pay its bills. And that was even before they took on some of these crazy projects under MBS. And today it's trading at 63. And that's a problem in any era. Right now, where Saudi Arabia as a nation state is spending unprecedented amounts of money on infrastructure and vanity projects, like everything's gonna get a hard look here. So whatever Bryson was hoping to get, like he can remove a 0 from the offer, I think. And like the landscape has changed. It's this like boom boom, Patrick Reed, Brooks, and now just the tremors. Like Saudi Arabia's out on the street begging for money. So are they going to all of a sudden prioritize Bryson?
Right? Are they going to want to give a golfer $500 million? So let's put this up, Andy. I saw there was this story about they had this Neom, this lime city, which was kind of the peak of like Saudi, pie in the sky dreams. And they got to scale back for that. You've done a ton of research on Saudi society for your books. Do you really get the sense that like they're going to start to look at these balance sheets and maybe the golf league that's losing hundreds of millions of dollars every year and now has lost a crazy amount of momentum might not get the backing that it once did?
Of course. And importantly, Neom is the pet project of MBS. It's his vision. It's his baby, much like LIV Golf is for Yasir Al-Rumayyan. And if the Crown Prince is cutting up his own project and downsizing, like that is a major admission of where things stand. And so, yeah, I think we talked the last time I was on the show, like there's always been this 10-year vision for LIV Golf, and we're not even quite halfway there yet. And so it's not just about one player. It's like, how are they gonna put another $10 billion into this thing? Now they keep, Rolex was just announced as a partner. Like LIV keeps signing corporate deals.
Did you read the release or no?
Yeah, I mean, it's like a baby partnership, but symbolic.
Like if you buy a really nice Rolex, you can go and like hang out in hospitality is what it seemed like to me.
Yeah, but it allows LIV to say we're now partners with Rolex, which has cachet. But the point is, they've been announcing tons of TV deals, corporate deals. They've made commitments to players, to venues. Like it can't blow away this year. I mean, probably not even next year, but is it just going to keep getting downsized and downsized? And it seems like the answer is yes.
So I only came into this golf ecosystem when Jay Monahan was the commissioner of the PGA Tour. I did not live through the Fincham era or Dean Beeman. Can you contextualize Brian Rolap? I mean, I know it hasn't been that long, but it seems like a total shift in tone.
He's he basically has Dean Beeman vibes, but he's an autocrat. Beeman still had to build consensus, and he had 200 bosses, which were the players. Rollap has the same kind of ball-busting mentality, and he now has the authority to do whatever the hell he wants. And that's a pretty strong combination. Fincham was a kinder, softer, gentler version
I feel like
of
he
Beeman.
got to just stand next to Tiger with purses that kept going up, and yeah.
Perfect timing. And then Monahan was kind of this caretaker for, the post-Tiger and Phil era to try and build on these young stars. And he did okay, but he, Rollap is the game changer here. And I will say somewhere Jay Monahan has to be smiling, because he basically jumped on the grenade to all of this and willingly torched his own legacy and reputation to do what was best for the tour, which was to cut these deals, to bring in these strategic partners. And everyone hates Jay Monahan, but in the end, he's going to be mostly vindicated for the way he handled it. There were some missteps, no doubt, but the PGA Tour has won the war. And he was the general for a lot of it, and Rollap's going to get the credit because he's kind of firing off the last shots here. But Monahan has been he's being rehabilitated by the day.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Was taking on the private equity that really what? Because I remember I posted something today about whatever I did, the "Live is Dead" meme, and someone was like, it was never alive. I was like, that is just not true. I remember in December of 2023 when Rahm signed, it was panic stations at the tour. If one more guy went, it was like, holy shit, we've lost Bryson and Phil and Rahm and Cam Smith. What changed?
Yeah, LIV was on the offensive from the spring of 22 to the end of 23, and the tour was completely reactionary. And the dynamic shifted. Really, I would say the end of 23, when they couldn't build on the Rahm signing, they couldn't build on an audience, and all the changes the tour made on the fly were finally baked in with the signature events and the increased money and the allegiance of the top players, starting with Scotty and Rory, but going on down the list. And it was like LIV created this almost need for constant news cycles. They had to win every news cycle. They had to keep that momentum going. It was never really about the product. It was about the energy and the disruption. And they sustained it for as long as they could until they basically, it was untenable. It was just a pace that could not be sustained because the product wasn't there. And then the tour, give again credit to Monahan and Rory and Tiger, who reshaped the tour on the run, and the signature events took off and the stars stayed home, and everything sort of flipped. So yeah, it's been kind of, this is now the tour is playing offense, and Rollap is the guy who's doing it. And so, and LIV is just in this reactionary crouch, and it's nothing but bad news for them. And the tour they've taken this by any means necessary attitude, and they're making up rules as they go. And, they're going for the jugular. That's quite obvious. Like they're trying to kill LIV Golf. The idea of consummating a framework agreement of any sort of partnership, that's way over. Like now they are stepping on LIV's neck metaphorically, and it's kind of fun to watch. Honestly, like this is a corporate death match at the highest levels, and I'm sure they'll be teaching classes about this in MBA schools at some point, because it has the momentum has come and gone, but obviously the tour has it now.
Oh, am I just supposed to ignore the woman that walked in, or are we just not going to talk about
that? Yeah, that was Yasmin. You can ignore her if you wish, but she's an important part of my life.
So where do they go from here? I mean, you said it's not going to fold. There's obviously not going to be an agreement, a coming together. Does it just kind of they make an announcement? Hey, we're LIV Golf Investments, because initially it was LIV Golf Investments, and it was like the Invitational Series, and then it was the league. You can try to pivot and say, hey, LIV Golf Investments is going to now partner with the DP World Tour or the Asian Tour and like do it through this ecosystem. Is that the most likely path?
Yeah, I mean, LIV and the Asian Tour are closely aligned already. It would be a game changer if they could snag Europe. And this goes back to the early days of the Premier Golf League, which is what LIV cannibalized. There's always been this desire to partner with Europe. Ultimately, Europe chose the PGA Tour as a partner, and that was probably the right choice. So I would be surprised at the state of play now if the European Tour would want to get in bed with LIV. They already have this strategic alliance with the PGA Tour. And there's been all this criticism, like Europe just gives its 10 best players to the tour every year. Now, how interesting that Patrick Reed is trying to go backdoor, and he's going to use that avenue to get back to the PGA Tour.
Too.
Oh, he's going to get it. I mean, the thing about Reed is he's a hoss. I mean, he will play every event.
Dude, he's playing in Bahrain this week after he won last week in Dubai. Like, that's sicko behavior.
That is. I mean, even on the PGA Tour, he was playing 35, 36 events. So he will. That's how Monty won all those Order of Merit titles. He just played more than anybody else, and it was his dollars per event wasn't so high. It was just that he never took a week off, and then Reed's gonna be in the same boat. Are
you gonna write like I don't know if it's like an addendum or a new book about this whole thing?
No, not a new book, but so Simon Schuster has been wanting to put out a paperback, and I keep saying with a whole new fat chapter that brings everything up to the minute, and I keep saying we're not there yet, but we're finally pretty much there. The resolution is upon us, so I'm going to start typing that up. We'll put out the paperback. It'll have a whole new bit, and I mean, I tweeted about this today. I've been working with some Hollywood guys for a while about a TV show that's based on the book that would be scripted with actors. There's a lot of talent attached. We need someone to write a big check. I wonder if your shear is available. But like, it could be amazing.
The Saudi film office, you know?
Exactly.
No, that's funny that you say that, because we were on this show. We're going to do it next show. This was not inspired by, it was kind of inspired by your book, but there was Manchester United, which is my favorite soccer team. They signed a deal with Lionsgate to do a TV show, like a fictionalized TV show, kind of like The Crown, that's going to be multiple, it's going to move through different eras and tell the history of Man United. So we were going to, and we're going to do it next week, but we were going to cast your book, basically. We're going to cast people as Rory, Tiger, Monahan, Yasir, Greg Norman. You are cast. We've each submitted our picks.
Clooney, obviously. It's got to be Clooney.
No, it's not Clooney. Mine's not Clooney, at least for you.
But no, it's fun to think about. And, David Frankel, who's the director of Devil Wears Prada and Inventing Anna, like, he's super into this. Like, we have it's close. We just got to light the candle. And I've been thinking about casting for a long time. I will gladly help with that. And how about Rob McElhenney as Rory McIlroy? How good is that?
We are not making our picks until it's live on the show next week, so you're going to get nothing out of me.
Okay, my bad. Edit that out. But I mean,
we're live.
The same
we don't edit on this show.
Right. Okay. Too bad. We're going with McElhenney as McElroy. Like, it was meant to be. He can do his little fake Welsh accent from the Wrexham show. Like, it'll be perfect. But anyway, I have many thoughts on the casting.
Well, then you'll be an interested viewer next week.
Oh, not a participant.
No.
Ouch. All right.
Can't cast yourself.
That cut to me.
Thank you as always, Alan. Are you coming out? I mean, I'll see you. I'm sure I'll see you at Pebble, if nothing else.
I'll see you at Pebble. And I will, I'm coming down to LA soon, so I'll darken your doorstep, and we'll chop it up at Augusta. You name it. It's going to happen.
All right. Sounds good, my friend.
All right. Thanks for having me.
So one more thing I wanted to get to. I asked for clarification on the Wesley Bryan situation from the PGA Tour. And I tweeted this earlier. Basically, it was explained to me that Wesley didn't resign his membership before he participated in an unauthorized event, whereas Patrick Reed had resigned his membership before he played in the unauthorized events. Now, we have to address, not every event is the same. Patrick Reed played 4 seasons, I think, on LIV, playing in their actual tournaments. Wesley Bryan played in 4 9-hole scrambles.
Do you think?
But so it's not the same punishment. Because he was a member, and I guess if you play an unauthorized event as a member is worse than playing an unauthorized event as a non-member, even if the event is a YouTube scramble versus an actual golf tournament.
Do you have like a take or a...
Yeah, I think it's silly. I think, not, you have to live in reality. Like, he didn't join their tour. He didn't play in their golf tournaments. He made a YouTube video.
I feel like in what our friends over the tour would call like their edgy season, it's the kind of thing that's like, well, you cheated on us. Like, everybody else broke up with us and then went and slept with somebody else. Like, you just openly cheated on us, even if you are who you are.
But did he cheat, or did he flirt with a girl at a bar? You know what I mean?
I think that's the question.
Cheating would have been like, I went and played and like I spent the night.
That's true.
Kind of, you talk to a girl.
He might have spent the night. That's bad enough.
I'm just saying I don't think that Wesley should be subject to a longer suspension than a guy who played in a million
and was like one of the faces of the tour.
Yeah, seems.
I'm with you.
Yeah, and then we threw up this meme. I've been sipping this tea the whole day. It's because of this meme. Alex Bush had this idea earlier today, and I think we executed it pretty well. Man, what a show! What a time in golf, and what a time to be wearing knockaround sunglasses. We actually had an incredible dinner with Team Knockaround.
We sure did.
Last night in San Diego. Joel Damon was there. Mark Hubbard was there. Peter Malnati was there. The whole Knockaround. Jeff Henyon, Andy Cohen. What a squad.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're ever wondering, like, oh, there's actually people who run a company, right? Like behind the name on the sunglasses. Are they good people? They are fantastic people. And we have an unbelievable partnership with Knockaround. And I am telling you guys, these sunglasses are the same, if not better quality than sunglasses that cost 10 times as much. I've been getting compliments on these all year. These are the Panoramas. Knockaround. The best sunglasses for the right price. Go to, we got a promo code for you. If you go to knockaround.com/DanOnGolf20, you get 20% off your first order. That brings these sunglasses down. They also haven't raised their prices when everyone else is raising their prices. It's just an incredible company. Buy 3 for less than the price of 1 of the other guys. We love Knockaround on this show. It's presented by Knockaround. We mentioned it, we were in San Diego. We were just at Torrey yesterday. Beautiful day at Torrey.
Oh, yeah.
Last year, it was horrible weather at Torrey. It was cold and foggy and pouring rain. I remember filming stuff and I was like freezing cold. It was a 72-degree day yesterday. It looked like that. And we had a great time out there. We filmed 2 one-hole whisks. We did a one-hole with Jason Day, which is already up. We did one with Jake Knapp, which is going up, I think, tomorrow. We were out there with the whole Knapp clan. His parents were out there.
Oh, nice.
His brother, Ryan Knapp, who's like a really good amateur in the area. Ryan's little son, nephew. So Jake's nephew was out there hitting putts. They got an unbelievable crew. And Jake Knapp is just an unbelievable talent. He is a top 10 in the world talent. Like, his ceiling is as high as they get. I really hope that he reaches it. But the talk of Torrey yesterday, before this Patrick news broke, because it was the day before, was Brooks Koepka and his first press conference. So I was there, and I asked him a couple questions. Let's roll the first one. What did you miss most about playing on the PGA Tour?
It's a good question. I think the ability to have my family out all the time. I think that was one thing, because they didn't travel too much over the last few years. But they're going to be out this week, so I'm super excited to be able to have them out.
Good question. Thank you. Brooks and I have gone back and forth on social media in the past, but for me, it's water under the bridge. You know, it was weird. The lift. It's like COVID. You know, we're not responsible for what we did during COVID. We're not really responsible for what we did in that first year of the LIV Golf situation. But and on a serious note, that was the tone of his press conference. Was like, this is about my family. This is about my family. Like, I did this for my family. You know, I think he could have gotten up there and really shit on LIV and say it was a joke, it was terrible. But it was he made it clear to him that it was a family decision. I had another question for him that we're going to roll right now. Since you went, Scotty has emerged as this world beater, Rory's gotten, equal with you with 5 majors. Knowing how competitive you are, is there part of you that's excited to face off against those guys more than just a couple times a year?
Yeah, I'm super excited about it. Obviously, Scotty's been dominant, I guess is probably the right word. Rory's got 5 now. I don't think anybody's shocked by this. If you've watched golf over the last few years, how well those guys are playing, and I'm excited to battle with them. I think that'll be really fun. I think just the competitive side of me, obviously, you obviously want to do a little bit better, but I mean that's going to be very tough to do better than Scotty right now. But yeah, I'm excited for it. I want to play with those guys and see where I'm at and how I can get better, right? That's the whole goal every day, trying to, practice to being out here is just get a little bit better, and I'm excited about that. Challenge Danny, get a fucking sentence out. How bad was that?
Give yourself a break.
I said Rory, equal. I don't stumble during press conferences.
Maybe he looked you through your eyes.
Actually, I stumbled very famously once in a press conference.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that when I forgot my question?
I've heard about it.
You haven't seen it? You haven't seen the clip?
No, I wouldn't.
Oh my God.
Horror movies.
It was when it was Tiger at Hero, and this is he's talking about his leg, and I asked him a question. I had 2 questions ready, and I asked him the first question. Just how close was your leg to being amputated? And he was really close and stared in my soul. And then I forgot the next question. And I literally sit there and I'm like, I forgot. And it went crazy.
Well, I mean, I think that is cool because you were genuinely stunned by what he said.
Yeah.
It just proves you're not just a scribe sitting there reading off a notebook.
Well,
you're trying to have a conversation.
It's funny that you say that. Now when I'm in press conferences, I write my questions down for that reason, because I am scarred. There was one more interesting Q&A that I wanted to get into. Last one from Brooks Koepka.
Brooks, you mentioned the circumstances have changed about the last year. I know this is hindsight, but if you could go back to 2022, would you do anything different?
I don't regret anything I do. I've learned a lot, and I've always enjoyed the ride no matter where I'm at. And I think that's one thing that's you always learn from anything you're doing. So I have no regrets, but at the same time, I'm excited for this new chapter. Grateful to be out here for Brian Rolap, Jay, Tiger, everybody that was able to get me out here. I'm super grateful for it, and I'm excited.
No regrets.
No regrets.
No regrets. But this also made me think that there might be a non-disparagement situation going on here legally. You know, it's the same thing with Patrick Reed, where like the statement was like, I'm grateful to LIV Golf. And, you know, maybe they're just trying to avoid any sort of issues. But, you know, in the normal world, which dealing with a golf league that is dependent upon the price of oil is not the normal world. But in the normal world, if you leave a company, like, you know, in kind of tense circumstances, you sign like a non-disparagement agreement that says like, I won't shit on the company publicly.
Yeah.
So I don't think we're going to get any of these guys being like, LIV was a joke. You know,
I think with him specifically, I was going to mention this before, when the first statement came out about him leaving, it was in reference to like, I want to spend more time with my family. And then that kind of went by the wayside. Like it was all about the battle between the two tours. And I think we've heard a couple guys since speak about Brooks and be like, yeah, I'm like happy for him. I've heard that like he wanted to spend more time with his family. Like the family narrative feels like not a narrative. It feels like a real thing.
Yeah.
Like, and he said it to you too, like spending time with them is way easier on this tour than it is on this tour, which makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, I mean, one of the tours is in the United States and one of them isn't.
So I buy it, I guess, is what I'm saying, is I really think that that's like, he's like, and think about yourself too. You have all the money you ever needed to make. Like, what's the most comfortable situation?
Do you think I have all the money I've ever needed to make?
I'm saying put yourself in that.
Oh, no, you said
in that
think
position.
about yourself.
I'm saying, yeah, think about yourself,
like,
putting yourself in that position.
I am definitely not making money.
You read me wrong.
Okay.
There. But when
don't
next
count another man's
move,
money.
You report to me.
What?
I can look it up. But I have it.
That's the craziest thing you've said on this show.
Oh man.
Let's go back to our point.
Back to the point.
That was crazy.
What would your next move be?
Yeah, I mean, if I had more money than I ever needed, and that's what you know, these guys played it right.
Create the most comfortable situation you can, which is move back to Florida, hang out with the boys, raise your kids on the Atlantic Ocean. And
Brooks Koepka was like a baseball jock from Florida who went to Florida State and like had to fight his way onto the team. There is no way that he ever anticipated winning 5 majors and having $180 million or whatever it is in the bank. And he said in the press conference that he's matured a lot in the last couple of years, and maybe he came to that realization. Like,
do you think he has? I think he has.
It seems that way.
His disposition is.
Yeah, I mean, there was a fiery back and forth where Doug Ferguson was like, "Your record in majors sucks," and he was like, "Yeah, thank you, I know." And Doug was like, "Yeah, like you're the one." He was just like, "Thanks for reminding me." And Doug's like, "Yeah, you're the one who shoots him." It was like kind of the old Brooks would have been like, "Actually, I won a major while I was still on LIV," but he just kind of smiled and I don't know. He probably has his tail between his legs a little bit this week.
I don't think he wants to be like the story, even though it's inevitable. But he seems like he's like, yeah, like. Pull the hat down.
Yeah, but I mean, so it's significant that the two guys who came back, both Americans. So these are the Americans who are left on LIV Golf: Bryson DeChambeau, Taylor Gooch, Phil Mickelson, Dustin Johnson, Bubba Watson, Matt Wolff, Charles Howell III, Michael Asasso, Brendan Steele, Cameron Tringale, Caleb Surratt, Peter Uihlein, Jason Kokrak, Harold Varner, Anthony Kim. That's it. Those are the Americans that are left on LIV. So as the league goes more international and guys already have money, maybe some of them aren't so fired up about playing all over the joint. And I know there's going to be people watching the show saying, the world's not all about America. The world's not all about America. The PGA Tour is an American institution. You know, European soccer players, they go to England if they want to play, the best soccer. And the league's in England. Like, that's just kind of the way it is right now.
Yeah.
So.
Can I ask you a question?
Please.
You
can ask me whatever you want. I report to you.
What are the implications on the President's Cup for Patrick Reed? Like, it's after the deadline.
He can play as a captain. I mean, he's not going to be able to get points, obviously, because he's not playing, but he is eligible as a captain's pick.
And then if he wins the Masters this year, when you win the Masters, you get a 5-year PGA Tour membership.
Yeah.
Does that kick in right away, or is that always for the next year?
It usually kicks in right away, but he's suspended until August 25th. So he would then go into like the highest category when he rejoins as a recent major champion.
Even if he earns something through a loophole. Like,
well, I don't
you
know.
can't have
Yeah,
that
because
going.
I think the returning member program closes, so it's not like if you win a major, you're still in that returning member program because you won it after 2022.
I know. I'm just talking about like the standard Masters exemption.
Yeah, no, he's suspended, I think. Yeah.
Interesting.
So, you know, but then he would join as in the major winners category, which obviously you'd get into everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of non-Americans, we're gonna bring one on right now. Luke Kerr-Dineen. Luke Kerr-Dineen, our swing guru. You've been watching the show. Luke, give us a take. Tell me what you think is like. What's going on in the world right now of golf?
You know, I don't give these macro takes. I'm the golf guy. I'm the detox guy. All this macro, what's going on with the tour? Oh, look at this infighting. Who's going to happen? No. We're going to talk. Well, I'm here to talk about golf swings, Dan. You're a golf nerd at heart. I know you. That's what we're going to talk about right now.
Are you like running for Congress or something?
Yeah, I'm focused on the issues, Dan.
Okay, that's a good answer. All right, well, let's start with Chris Goddard. I want to say before we dive into this, I was kind of wrong about Chris Goddard. The first time I watched him play was at the sectional qualifier at Old Oaks in probably 2022, maybe 2023. He got through, and I knew he was, hot shot at Oklahoma, and I saw his golf swing, and I just thought, that golf swing is so violent. It's so old school. It's so across. And I thought he would be a terrible links player. He beat Rory McIlroy at the Scottish Open. He almost won the Open Championship. Break down this golf swing because it's so different from, I feel like so many of the guys that we see now are kind of side bending and getting shallow. This feels like almost throwback.
Yeah, it's so fun. So this is a swing I got from him at Memphis. I went down to Memphis and I was like, I got to see this guy hit a golf ball in real life because just like so much horsepower behind it. I mean, the thing that is amazing to me, the two things, is how he locks out his right knee and just like how much shaft lean there is, right? Like it's just so much compression into the golf ball here. Like look at his hands are forward. His hands are forward at setup, and then he kind of gets steep in transition. He's leaning way in his left side, and it's just everything looks like it's going down. You know what I mean? Like he's just compressing that ball so hard.
But then how is he? I mean, he obviously doesn't. He's able to play on different turfs. Like, is it a kind of situation where he's got the right equipment? Like, how is he able to do that?
Yeah, right. So, like, he's obviously dialing in his equipment. I mean, I bet spin gets out of control with him when he's not careful. Like, I don't know the loft of his driver off the top of my head, but I bet he's whacked that way down. He hits these, like, low cuts. That's why he can hit stingers. His swing is kind of designed to hit the ball low. But then in order to get the spin under control, he probably dials down the loft even more. Like, this shot here, he's kind of taking it over those left trees over there. But this thing was, like, apexing pretty low.
It almost looks like he's like putting. It almost looks like he's like putting an axe on his shoulder, and then like almost using the shoulder to like come down with the axe. And this is what I tweeted. I tweeted that he's the best like pickup basketball golfer I've ever seen, because I feel like this is a swing you would see like on the range at Rancho Park, and they'd be like, this is the guy who hustles everybody.
It's the guy that shoots like this, but makes every three.
Exactly. So it's a really interesting move. All right, let's move to.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, yeah, exactly. Like this is not. I mean, in theory, this isn't that good a golf swing. It's steep. He locks out his right leg, all sorts of stuff going on. But then he's just supercharged it. And he has somehow made it work because his coach, Jason Birnbaum, has done a fantastic job matching it all up. Super athletic guy, really strong. But yeah, you're right. You put this golf swing on a lot of guys, and they just hit huge, kind of low ballooning slices.
Yeah, like spinning like crazy, like a gross flight.
Right.
All right, let's move into the talk of the town. Blades Brown. That rhymes. Sounds
like
free
that.
for you. This golf swing gives me Bryson vibes in a way, Luke.
Yeah, totally. I totally see it. Early Bryson, too. Because I think what you're seeing is there's no wrist set. That's the big thing. And he's just got this, like, incredibly strong core. So he's not really getting any of his power through, like, the whipping action. Like, a lot of people think, like, your guy Jake Knapp gets really wide and then kind of rehinges it, and then he's releasing it all. That's where he's getting his, like, he's using the club like a whip. Whereas Blades is staying really wide with his wrists. He's not using any of that angular stuff. He's just kind of turning and hitting with his body really hard. And that's also why you see the chicken wing post-impact.
Right, so explain that to our people. And he's not like releasing it, it's just more of a turn.
Yeah, exactly. So like if I'm throwing a ball, there's this angle, right, with my hand. I'm holding it back and I'm releasing it. Whereas Blades doesn't really have a ton of this wrist action. He's keeping it relatively locked in, which is what early Bryson did. But you got to get your power from somewhere. So what's he doing? He's just able to turn really hard. So it's like a body movement pulling his arms because he's not using that whipping action with his wrists.
Good. Yeah, you can see how he gets like in the zone. You know, there's not a lot of small muscles that he relies on here. It's like it's a very sort of repeatable action. All right, next guy, Marco Penge. Had an incredible year on the DP World Tour, won 3 times. I heard you grunt in pleasure there. You love this guy's golf swing.
Yeah, it's a big grunt in pleasure. I mean, this guy, it's just such a beautiful golf swing, kind of aesthetically, but just the fact that you can, like, Goddard is a really powerful golf swing, but his golf swing looks different. And Blades Brown is really powerful or whatever, but this is like a pretty classic looking golf swing, but like he just roasts it too. So it's always nice when you get these two things working together.
What is his power move? Like where does all that speed come from? Because he's, you know, when he played with Rory a bunch last year when they were kind of both chasing the race to Dubai, he was hitting it by him.
Yeah, I mean, he's just got he's kind of got a Rory move in that he's just like very tuned with his whole sequence. So like that's just a fancy way of saying that, like, making sure the different parts of your body are firing at the right time, right? A lot of amateur golfers, their sequence is all screwed up. The upper body goes first, then the hips go late, and they're just leaking power all over the place. Whereas Marco is like extremely dialed in with how his body is kind of organized, right?
And
like,
it's, that right knee also kind of straightens, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So he gets that big turn, then he pushes off it, then his arms go, then his wrists go. And so, you know, everything is just like handing off to each other. And it's just so efficient the way he does it.
Kinetic chain, as Tiger would say. Ben Griffin, I think that this move looks funny to us because of, is it just the chin?
Yeah, I think so. And Sean Foley explained this chin to me. His chin kind of goes up. Well, basically just goes up, right? See how his chin kind of pokes up this way? And he was saying it's because it's where your eyes go often is like what is a sign of what you're trying to do. And Ben is like, his chin goes up because he's trying to like pull up as a way of releasing the club. His body goes up. That creates space for his hands to kind of release through. That's kind of what's going on here.
And you like this golf swing a lot. I mean, I feel like if you take away the chin thing, it's pretty, like, the positions are fantastic.
Yeah, like this is a pretty butter cut move, you know? Like this doesn't look like he's hitting many draws. He says he doesn't hit many draws at all. He just hits little baby fades all day. His body kind of really, yeah. I mean, what's not to like about it?
Yeah, he's got a little bit of that left foot clearing out too to allow him to get like some more space. Fitzy's doing that a lot recently. I think that's kind of a trendy move out there on tour.
Yeah, it's like kind of like Scotty-ish in this way, right? Like his chin goes up because his body's releasing up, because as his body releases up, that's what's preventing the club face from flipping over, right? He's like kind of releasing his body up, and by doing that, he's controlling the club face.
So I put Bob McIntyre on this list. This is the last one we're going to talk about because I have a flaw in my golf swing that sometimes I can like move toward the golf ball, and I feel like Bob actually does that a little bit, but obviously he's one of the best players in the world.
Yeah, he works a lot too. He's got this really cool training aid that he works where, you know, it's basically almost like elastic bands that he puts around his shoulders, down his arms, and that forces him to stretch to kind of keep his arms away from his body. And that prevents this kind of move, this ducking down into the ball from happening. He works on really stretching up and getting wide with his arms. When things get narrow, there's a lot of amateur golfers do that. Like when the things get narrow and tight and they move towards the ball, suddenly you're kind of robbing yourself of that stretch release kind of cycle, and it costs you a lot of power.
Awesome. I love doing the swing deep dives with Kerr-Dineen. We're going to have to, you know, last year you were a Ryder Cup pick guy. I think you're going to be our swing. This is more your comfort zone, like you said. You know, you're focused on the issues.
That's right. I'm an issues man. I'm solutions for the people, right? And you're more of a goal, and you can talk. So you're one of the few guys who actually like loves getting into the weeds of this. You know, I know you can kind of do everything, but you love getting in the weeds of the golf swing
I'm
stuff.
a weeds guy. You know, I appreciate it, Luke. We'll have you back on soon.
Anytime, Dan.
All right, we're going to talk now about Zone nicotine pouches. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Underage sale prohibited. I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. Nothing compares to the intensity and excitement of a big putt on 18, just like nothing compares to the intensity and flavor of Zone nicotine pouches. Available in strengths of 6 milligrams and 9 milligrams. I don't know if the other guys have 9 milligrams. Speaking of excitement, Zone will be unveiling a brand new flavor soon, so stay tuned. All I can say is the intensity and flavor, they're about to get spicier. Want Zone pouches at a discount mailed right to your door? Get 20% off at nicokick.com/zone. That's NICOKICK.com/zone when you use the promo code DanOnGolf20. I got to apologize to. Wait. What's that? We have time.
Not for.
Give me a drum roll. We got time for a Neal Shipley interview.
Let's go. The pride of Pittsburgh.
The prodigal son has returned. That's a bit that we've been doing. I don't really know how it started. It started because the first show of the year we were supposed to talk to Neal, and we bumped him because we had the Brooks Koepka thing, and then it became kind of like our Jimmy Kimmel, like, apologies to Matt Damon, we ran out of time. It became our apologies to Neal Shipley, but I actually sat down with Neal on Monday in his Airbnb ahead of the Farmers. And Neal missed the first 2 cuts of the year, but we're believers in Neal Shipley. He's a friend of the program. That's going to be all for us after this interview. We'll be back. We got our first watch along on Sunday. Right. So we are going to be watching the Farmers Insurance Open, myself and Ben, like we did last year, streaming the whole back 9, kind of an alternate cast situation. Obviously, we can't show the golf shots, but you have the TV on, we have the TV on, we're watching the same golf. It's super fun. I really want to get like involved in the chat, but it's a lot for me while I'm doing the show. It's a totally separate thing when we're on the watch along. Like a big part of that is me responding to all your guys' questions. So if you guys want to chat, hang out, ask me stuff, and just kind of watch the golf on Sunday with a bunch of golf sickos, we'll be doing that on the Dan on Golf YouTube channel. So enjoy our chat with Neal Shipley, and I'll see all you guys hopefully for the watch along on Sunday.
A good sleeper? Like, do you get stressed about if you have early tee time? Like, I have to do, because I'm a bad sleeper.
I probably also had a couple more alarms.
But like, you don't worry like, oh, I have to be up in like 7 hours. I'm only going to get like 6.5 hours of sleep. Like, you can usually fall asleep.
Yeah, I usually can fall asleep. I'm not like a stress sleeper at night. Usually I'm like, shit, like I got like, it's midnight. I got to get up at 6 for my tee time. But, that only happens every once in a while.
All right, well, we'll start it like that. We are here with Neal Shipley, PGA Tour rookie. We're talking after your first 2 events. We'll get into that first. My first question for you, though, is have you been watching the show?
No, I haven't. I've been kind of off social media.
I know you haven't because we've been ending every show with, sorry to Neal Shipley, we ran out of time. Every single one. Because remember the first episode of this season, we were supposed to do an interview.
Yes.
And you actually got bumped because there was some big news in the golf world with Brooks Koepka. Mm-hmm. But Jimmy Kimmel on his show, it's probably a little before your time, he used to end every show with, sorry, Matt Damon, we ran out of time. And it was like this long running bit. So we have been ending every show with sorry to Neal Shipley, we ran out of time.
That's beautiful.
And people, I just want to make sure you weren't like offended by that.
No, I'm not offended at all.
Yeah,
I get it.
It's like it's a nice like friend of the program.
Oh yeah. I'm glad I'm a friend of the program.
You are a friend of the program. So you said you're off social media. What kind of media do you consume? Because you guys obviously practice and you have long days at the golf course, but you can't really practice or play at night. So what do you like? How do you kill time?
I've been kind of off, I've been trying to stay off my social media a little bit more, but I'll just doom scroll on TikTok or something just to kind of eat some time up or watch some
Netflix. On a burner or something?
Yeah, well, I don't have an actual TikTok. I just have I just scroll on my For You page there. I don't post anything.
What does your For You page look like? What kind of rabbit holes are we down?
Oh, wow. I have no idea. It's something different. Some of it's there's that one pilot that's goes through ATC radios and is going through things with when pilots get in trouble or something and explaining it to people.
Okay.
I found that interesting. Maybe a little. That's kind of my tism, I guess. There's airline stuff.
You got a touch of it.
Yeah, touch of it. Yeah. So
planes. Did you watch the Nathan For You the rehearsal?
No.
Oh, you got to watch the rehearsal. So if you like talking about airplanes and pilots getting in trouble, you know who Nathan For You is. You've seen that show.
No.
Nathan Fielder.
No.
Dude, how old are you?
I'm 25.
Is that before his time? Nathan Fielder, Nathan For You? Well, it's okay. Well, so yeah, look it up.
Let me look it up.
He's a very popular sketch comedian, and he did this whole season. It's on HBO, called The Rehearsal. It's the second season, and his whole premise is there are way too many plane accidents.
Oh,
you know this guy.
Yeah. It's 2013. Yeah, I remember him. I remember seeing him.
Yeah, you see clips and stuff. So he did Nathan For You, but this new thing is called The Rehearsal, and the whole premise is all of these plane crashes and accidents happen because of the power dynamic between the main captain and the second captain. And the second captain doesn't speak up enough to the main captain, and he goes so deep into the captain's world to the point where he had HBO fund him building a massive replica of Terminal 4 at Houston so he could recreate all of these. It's hard to explain. It's a bizarre show, but if that is your interest, I can promise you that you will find it of interest.
All right, I gotta look into this. It sounds like HBO.
I think it's on HBO.
All right, cool. I gotta give that a look then.
Okay, so 2 events in, 2 MC Hammers, unfortunately.
Yes.
How are we feeling?
You know, not bad. You know, I think sometimes you get discouraged after some miscuts, but I feel like Hawaii, that's a tough week to start for us.
Why?
You got to travel over there, and it's a long travel over. And then your first tournament of the year is in 30-mile-an-hour winds on a golf course that's a little bit tight, and you know, I was just a little bit rusty, and you really get exposed. And then last week, I felt like I made a lot of good strides. We're pretty much playing in a dome out in Palm Springs, and got a lot of good work in on my game, and I feel like I'm trending. And I feel like historically I've kind of been a slow starter, so I'm not too worried about it.
I sent you a text and I was like, great fight back, and I was expecting you to be like upset, and you were like, yeah, I'm just shaking off the rust. Is the rust from just not competing? Because obviously you're practicing. I mean, yeah,
definitely not competing, and then I feel like I took some time off right around Christmas, and when I got back to Florida, I just was kind of like a little bit out of sorts, and so I was fighting pretty hard. Probably this first week after Christmas and first week of January, trying to like get my game into a solid place, and that just happens sometimes. And this is probably a good time of year to have it happen. There's a lot of big golf tournaments down the road, and just starting to trend in the right direction and get myself where I'm hitting it like I should.
So you missed the cut by 5 last week, and I'm always curious, and you're an analytical guy. How much higher is the level? If you played that exact same tournament on the Korn Ferry Tour, are you missing the cut by 1? Are you making the cut?
That's a great question. I think if you take the Korn Ferry fields and put them on the same golf courses, I'd probably.
I'm saying you take a Korn Ferry field from last year, you put them at the Amex, those 3 courses, and you shoot 5 under for 3 days.
I'm probably still missing the cut, but I'd probably be maybe a shot or 2 closer. I'll say
just 1 or 2 shots?
Yeah, probably 1 or 2 shots. I probably would have missed by 3-ish.
Okay.
I would think 3 or 4, just because the fields aren't as deep on Korn Ferry Tour. I think the top end talent's there, but the back end really isn't the same as the back end on tour. I think that if you were to take my game and put it onto a Korn Ferry course, that might be a different story. The courses you play in the Korn Ferry, you can get away with a lot of mistakes out there. So it's
even last week was like more penal than I know the scores were super low, or was that more of like a Korn Ferry setup?
No, I mean it's definitely a little bit more penal. I think like even a course like La Quinta, the greens there. If you missed a green, you have these really deep bunkers. It's hard to get up and down. On Korn Ferry Tour, we get a lot of courses with kind of like pancake bunkers. The greens are a little bit softer. I mean, the greens are really firm last week.
Yeah.
Greens on tour are firmer. They're faster. Bunkers are deeper. It's harder to get up and down. And so I think that it's just a different style of golf out here on the tour. And I've seen that over my 12 starts prior to this year.
You've played a bunch of tour events at this point. So you did something rare last week. You made a snowman, but there was no shot tracker.
Yes.
Because it was at La Quinta, so there was no Tourcast or whatever it is. So I was looking at it, and all I saw was shot 1, tee box, shot 3, tee box, shot 5, tee box. But I don't know how far out they were. I don't know if they were in the water. Can you walk me step by step through the snowman? Because usually I wouldn't have to ask. But there was no shot tracker out there.
I'm happy to. So it's like a little dogleg right. It's kind of tight house to house there. And I was aiming down the left center of the fairway and trying to just peel a little cut in there, kind of like I normally do, and just had like a little bit of double cross. I probably hit like a 10-yard pull with a little bit of draw, and first one was maybe 5 yards out, the second one was maybe 2 yards out.
Same shot though.
The same exact shot.
So when you're standing up there, you've already hit one out. That's not a fun tee shot to have to hit, like when you're doing it again.
No. I mean, we didn't know if it was out, so I was like, we'll just get this one out there and hope for the first one's in. And then the second one was definitely out. And so then I'm like, well, fuck, I hope the first one's in.
Did you club down for the third one, or you just ripped the driver again?
No, I just ripped the driver again. At that point, if I hit 2 out of bounds, I'm thinking, well, like, who cares?
Yeah. I mean, especially on a week like that, like where you're going to have to shoot, was it 11 under was the cut?
Yeah.
Did you immediately, because you still had like 20 something holes to go, but it was at that point you're like, well, I'm kind of playing with house money, because you finished incredibly strong. You finished that round 6 under for your last 6. Was there something to like just, I'm gonna send it, like fuck it?
I mean, there's a couple moments that were just like, you have this shot and it's like, yeah, who cares what happens? Just hit it. But I just put a lot of really good golf shots together, chipped one in, made a lot of nice putts. I was putting really nice last week. Just kind of hit a lot of golf shots that were not great, like just, like those couple drives and played the par threes well. And just because I feel like my iron game wasn't super sharp. But, I just strung together a couple holes and it felt like I was like finally playing golf. I mean, that little stretch and a good stretch on Nicholas, the day after, I felt like I was actually playing golf and kind of had my game where I wanted it to be, and at a high level.
Do you get, because you're so positive, do you get negative? Like what?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Greg's not here, your caddy just left the room, but like after you make that 8, like do you get quiet? Do you start cussing? Like what does a pissed off Neal Shipley look like?
I'm probably a little bit, after an 8, I'm a little bit more quiet. After a poor shot, I'm probably, usually I try to keep it inside, but sometimes I'm yelling at myself with some profanity involved. But it's I feel like for me, if I try and bottle it up, sometimes it just kind of becomes like a pipe that's ready to burst. Right. A lot of pressure.
You'd rather have it just go.
I'd rather just let it go and then move on like 2 seconds later, which I need to do a better job of, probably with some microphones around, of maybe switching out some words. But,
yeah, I mean, this is the big tour, so
don't want to get fined.
There's certain words that you can't say. We get the. I'm not saying you do, but there's certain non-starters, and there are a lot more microphones, especially a week like this. And I was going to ask you, I mean, you haven't played this tournament.
No, first go.
Torrey Pines this is like a blue blood PGA Tour event. You probably grew up watching Tiger start the season here.
Oh, yeah.
Like you got to look at the golf course today. You got to be pumped for this one.
So excited. It feels like this is where the PGA Tour season really starts, because from here on out you have a lot of great golf courses that are really tough. The first 2 weeks it's I feel like it's almost like a little warm up for you come here and we're playing major style golf. Torrey Pines has hosted a few U.S. Opens, and we're gonna have Long Rough. It's a big boy golf course. I'm pumped about it. I feel like that style of golf really suits me well, and suits a guy that is able to just get his ball in the hole, make a lot of pars, and I think that's the type of game that I have. So I'm excited.
Did LIV make you an offer?
No.
What is that? Was kind of a.
Well, I mean, I think that there's folks from LIV that will be like, hey, do you have any interest?
Right.
And I don't.
So they flirt.
Yeah. I mean, they of course, that's their business, and they are they're doing their due diligence, and I feel like it's totally fair for them to ask, but I'm just not even remotely interested in playing for LIV. I think that for me, the best players play on the PGA Tour, and I want to play with the best players. I think too that on the PGA Tour, it's the best place to get your game ready at the highest level and to compete. And
but it's not about like, I grew up watching the PGA Tour, this is where I always wanted to play. It's more about like playing against the best players.
Yeah, I want to play against the best players, and I think the best players are out here, and the golf, it just doesn't really do it for me. It doesn't have that same prestige that the tour has. Yeah. I think there's something to be said about having the history that we have.
So there is part of it. Part of it is like the ecosystem. It's not just like this is a group of players here and this is a group of players there. It's like the tour is more than just all the good players.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the tour is just more than just the good players, and there's a lot of things going on in golf right now, and I think it'd be great if more of the best players could be with each other more often, and I'm hoping that something happens soon where we can all get together and make it equitable for both parties.
Okay, so I know you didn't have interest or not a LIV guy because I saw you join the PAC.
Yes.
That was just announced today. You're on the Player Advisory Council. Why the fuck would you do that?
I just want to, honestly, it's not a huge time commitment.
It's not.
For us, no. It's probably like 4 or 5 one-hour meetings. Like we have one meeting tomorrow night. It's our first meeting of the year. And then there might be a couple of emergency meetings. And then, it's not a ton. And for me too, I think it's a good opportunity to learn about how the tour works.
Yeah. You're an analytical guy.
Yeah, and I think too it's a good opportunity. There's a lot of things down the road. There'll be a lot of opportunities if I keep playing well to be more involved in the tour. And I think I'd want to learn early if I want to be, involved like a pack member. And
It's just funny because like a lot of the guys, I'll talk to a lot of guys who are like, yeah, I was on the pack and like it was a disaster. Like,
Yeah.
it was just like we didn't get anything done, and it was just like a big drain on my time. It's probably like with roll-up now and like a different structure, it's probably a little bit less influential. Like it seems like
it's definitely less influential.
Like seems like the roll-up is just kind of like this is what it is.
Yeah, I think too. It's kind of like I haven't been to a meeting yet, but from what I've heard, it's kind of like it's a glorified school council. And
were you a school council?
No, I was not popular enough in high school for that. But I think it's a cool way to learn about how the tour works, and I think it'll be fun to get to know a couple of guys on the pack a little bit better too.
There's a lot of big names on it.
Yeah,
Scotty Scheffler, Justin Thomas.
Who's that guy?
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Is he? Oh,
yeah. Did you watch last week?
I watched a little bit. I heard that he made double, and I didn't watch everything. I was playing some golf. I did a tee time at another place on Sunday.
Yeah.
And
you played like 7 golf courses last week.
I did. Played a lot of golf in the desert. Yeah, but it was. He made double on 17 and still won by 3 or 4. It's pretty bananas.
Yeah, you're one of the few guys I feel like who will go play another course in the area. You just like, I feel like you love golf, but you also love golf courses.
Yeah, I love golf. I love golf courses, and I mean, honestly, if I'm really young, and if I can play in a cart, it's really not like that much added stress to my body. So it was a fun little day, and I got to enjoy a pretty cool place. So
the quarry.
Yeah, the quarry. I played the quarry. They have a little cove on the back 9 that it's literally just a couple golf holes, and like you have the mountains and the desert. It's unbelievable.
It was a good scene.
Really cool.
What'd you shoot?
It was like 4 or 5 under or something like that.
Another day at the office.
Yeah. The greens were pure too. Yeah. It was nice to be on some really good overseed greens.
How does the $500K guarantee for rookies work? Did you get a direct deposit already, and then you don't get paycheck? Like how does it work?
So you get a direct deposit you get $400K direct deposit, and then they keep $100,000 for local and state taxes and other withholdings. So if I were to, say, win $500,000 here at Torrey, there'd be a certain amount there that's withheld for local taxes. So they kind of hold back a little bit, so you don't have to pay money back to them for local taxes. That's kind of how that works. And if you don't earn above $500,000, then you don't get any paychecks. But it's kind of nice to get that forwarded for a lot of guys, especially coming from the Korn Ferry Tour. Most guys don't have a lot of sponsors. They're kind of unknown names, and so it is a really nice boost to some of these guys, because these weeks are expensive, especially compared to Korn Ferry. You can't just find a Airbnb for $800 like you could on Korn Ferry
for the week. We're saying.
Yeah, for the week.
Yeah, I mean, what will a week on the Korn Ferry Tour, like? I know you're a math guy. What would a normal week on the Korn Ferry Tour cost? And like a more the West Coast is expensive.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on where we're going. Like if we're going to like Springfield, Illinois, or Springfield, Missouri, there's some cheap hotels or some good Airbnb options for not too much. I think for me, if I was just staying by myself, I'd try to find an Airbnb that's around $800 or $1,000 for a week, which is what you spend on a hotel normally. And then, you got food and everything, and travel. Travel would be expensive. That's the big one. If you fly first class, or if you fly coach, or economy, or whatever it's called.
How do you make that choice?
Sometimes it's just like if like the ticket's like $2,000,
right,
and you're on a 2-hour flight, it's like probably not worth it.
Right, but if you're flying across the country, I mean, you are a professional athlete.
Yeah,
like you don't want to, if you have some like fatso next to you.
Yeah, exactly. Like if I'm going from like Palm Beach to LA, and as long as there's not something like outrageous, then I'm probably gonna fly first class.
Yeah. So you got to change the budget up a little. Like it's different this year.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely different this year. And we're playing for a lot more money, so I think you can justify making that investment in yourself.
Have you seen Tiger since you guys played together?
No, I have not.
Haven't seen him?
No, I haven't seen him.
Probably remembers you.
I don't know if he does.
I think he does.
He might.
It was a pretty big deal.
It was fun. I am the last person to play with him at Augusta, so.
That is true. Mm-hmm. So are you sneaky rooting for him never to play at Augusta?
Definitely not. I hope he does.
People would not like that.
I really hope he plays at Augusta a bunch more, and hopefully we can maybe get a game at home with him at some point when he starts.
Yeah, you guys live not too far apart.
Yeah, not far at all.
What would success look like this year?
This year? That's a great question. One of my big goals, I think, is to try and make the Tour Championship. I think that would be sick and a great rookie year. Making the playoffs is probably another big goal of mine. To do that would be great. And I would love to win once. I feel like I'm a good enough player to win out here, and I have the game to do it. And so that's probably the big 3 for me this year.
You know, you were not overlooked, but maybe you weren't that good when you were in high school. You went to James Madison. You big Kurt Signetti.
Yeah, Coach Sig's great.
Did you know him at all when you were there? Did you guys overlap? Or was he
yeah, we overlapped for maybe a year or two, and I did. I got to know some of the football players.
They were getting good while you were there?
Yeah, they were really good when we were there already in FBS, and then or FCS, and then they switched over to FBS my last year there, I think, and we were a really solid squad. I mean, I think we went to the national championship for FCS 2 times while I was there. So we had some serious teams. It was a lot of fun.
So you go to James Madison, you transfer to Ohio State. Is there part of you now that, and I don't know if this is the kind of person that you are, maybe this is me more projecting, is there any part of you now that's like, I'm on the big tour, like fuck those college coaches who like overlooked me?
No. Like the coaches that didn't talk to me?
Yeah.
I definitely had some of the mentality, I think, at James Madison. I'm
going to show you.
Yeah, I remember there's one school that didn't recruit me, and they recruited another kid instead. And I think when we played them a couple times, and I made a point to make sure that I didn't lose to that kid ever.
Yeah.
And I think I only lost to him once out of like 10 times.
Yeah, so there's a little fire that burns in there.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm a competitive person, obviously, and I felt like I was good enough to play at some bigger schools, but didn't get the opportunity until when I transferred. So I think it was definitely lit a fire under my ass.
Did you ever expect, obviously the Tiger experience and the Netflix changed your life, and you're in a Ping commercial?
Yeah, it's bananas.
Like, did you ever in a million years expect this? Like, even after the Tiger thing, or did you think it was just kind of this cool thing, or did you process at the time like this is going to change a lot?
Yeah, I think I didn't realize how much it would change when the Tiger thing happened. I thought it was this really cool thing, and it was like a lot of attention at once, and I think that my quality play, from the U.S. Open and then on in that summer, really helped capitalize on that momentum. And
right, because if you were never heard from again,
yeah, it wouldn't matter. I think it's nice that I got that opportunity and really capitalized on it. I think I've had a lot of great opportunities show up in my young career so far, and I've done a really good job of capturing that moment and really capitalizing, on the golf course when I needed to. And I'm really proud of that. It's been great to, it's been a great start so far, and I'm excited for, the rest of it to come.
What do you like most about pro golf?
Ooh.
Can't say competing. Everyone says competing.
Yeah. I mean, I really enjoy competing. I do. I love. I mean, if we're at home playing with my buddies, like I love playing for $20.
Like when we got smoked by Burger and
exactly.
I couldn't hit a golf ball.
Yeah,
I couldn't see you straight, so I couldn't hit a golf ball.
I mean, he had to carry his bag though for 9 holes.
Yeah,
I mean, we're at a
it was also 120 degrees, and I'm a delicate flower.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, you do that. You looked really red.
I was really red. Yeah, I'm not cut out for Florida.
I think what I love a lot about traveling for pro golf is just experiencing new towns.
Yeah.
Like I'm in Del Mar this week. It's freaking awesome here. It's so much fun. We went to like a local breakfast spot, different coffee spots. Even like on Corn Ferry Tour, going to Argentina, Chile, Bogota, Panama, like that's so fun. And it's cool that golf's taken me to these places. I even went to Japan in November and played down at Phoenix.
How was that?
Sick.
Yeah.
So much fun. I had a
you played
great
good
time.
too. You finished like 5th or 6th?
Yeah, I played solid. I can't remember what I finished, but it was a really fun week. I mean, Greg and I, my caddy, I have a buddy of mine that's on the Japan tour, and he took us out a couple times, and we found literally this sushi spot that's like in an alleyway,
Yeah.
And like this tiny little door.
There's probably like 4 seats, and they're smoking cigs inside.
Yeah, and it's just the chef and his wife, and I ate some fish that I've never eaten before, but it was like so good. And
where was it in Japan?
It was in Miyazaki, Japan.
Okay.
Yeah, it was cool. I think, you're adventuring that much. you have to have so much faith in the people that are preparing your food.
Yeah.
And it was really cool to kind of just like let go and just like kind of put some faith in some Japanese dude that doesn't speak English. It was a lot of fun.
He came through for you.
He did. He was the man.
It sounds like you had a great meal.
It was. Oh, we went back.
Oh, you did?
We went back. Yeah. It was like this stupid good omakase. And Greg, what was it? Maybe only like. It was maybe like $70 a head.
Right. Whereas like omakase in New York City is like.
Brent would have been $500.
I was gonna say like at least $400.
Yeah, it was freaking incredible.
And the fish was probably way better and way fresher.
Yeah, that was great. That's probably the best sushi you've ever had. Yeah.
I'm a sushi snob.
Are you?
Yeah.
Snob.
Yeah. And my Japanese friend, he actually cried. It was so good.
Really?
He was like this. He had tears.
Is that I didn't know that was like a human reaction when food tastes really good to start crying.
It wasn't like bawling out tears. He was just like kind of tearing. He was like, he's just so emotional. It's like it's never gonna get better than this.
The food literally made him emotional.
Yeah, it was pretty. It was a cool experience. He actually just went back. Yuki was in Miyazaki again, my buddy Yuki, and I saw on his social media that he had gone back to the place.
I wonder if he cried again, or if
he might have. I mean, that's his like.
He'll cry over Chipotle.
Yeah,
I might cry over this Chipotle.
Yeah, we were talking before. You were stressing about where you're going to order, and then you ended up on Old Reliable. Is that just because when you're going to different cities, it's like?
Yeah, I think it's tough to kind of do dinner. I think we were talking if you do, I had a long day of practice. You had like a 6-hour pro-am on a Monday. I'm exhausted, and like to go out and do dinner out is just a whole hour and a half that I'm just kind of throwing away from recovery time.
Yeah.
And so it's just easier to just get over Reliable, get something quick. Anytime I think you can find a really good fast casual place. Like I know in Tampa, there's a couple places we frequented when we were over there that are just like super dialed, healthy.
You ever go to Kava?
I've been to Kava a couple times, yeah.
Kava's lit.
Kava's really good. I feel like they've gone downhill recently.
Well, they've expanded, and when you McDonald'sify a restaurant, you lose a little bit of the soul.
Yeah, true. There's this place in Florida called Fresh Kitchen that's like absolutely fire.
Okay.
If you're in Tampa, maybe there might be one near Valspar. I don't know if there's one close to Valspar, but it is gas.
Gas.
All
right, we'll leave it at that. I think that's a perfect place to leave it. I'm rooting for you this week.
Thanks.
I'll watch you out there.
Appreciate it.
Wait, actually, no, I lied. I got another question. How does a Monday Pro-Am it's not an option, like you have to play?
No, it's optional, but it's in carts.
Okay.
So we have 2 courses this week, and it was for Charlie Hoffman's foundation, and he asked me if I wanted to play, told me he's in carts, and I'm like, it's just a good cause, and we're in carts, so you get to kind of save our legs for another day. So just a win-win situation.
A win-win, beautiful. A win-win, and let's end the week with another win.
Yes, sir.
That would make this interview like a lot better.
Good to see you,
appreciate
brother.
it, buddy. Good seeing you. Thanks, guys.
I didn't notice till like the very end, but your sweatshirt's inside out. But it's like so not noticeable. Until you turn, and I can see like the tag on the side.